Welcome to Read Alouds with Mr. Krasna. Today's story is The Most Precious Thing. The Most Precious Thing by Jill Lewis, illustrated by Louise Ho. Little Bear was taking Mummy Bear on a walk through the forest in the autumn sunlight. She wanted to show her the special place where the juiciest berries and the sweetest nuts could be found. As Little Bear skipped through the rustling leaves, she suddenly spied a small blue stone glittering in the sunshine.
"Look, Mummy, look!"
cried Little Bear, picking it up.
"Look at the shiny jewel I have found!"
Little Bear gazed as it sparkled in her paw.
"It must be the most precious thing in the whole wide world,"
she gasped.
"Oh yes, Little Bear, this is a very beautiful stone,"
said Mummy Bear, holding it up so that it twinkled in the light.
"But the most precious thing is even prettier than this."
"Really?"
said Little Bear in wonder. She put the stone carefully in her bag.
"Let's go and look! I want to find the most precious thing ever!"
"Wait for me!"
laughed Mummy Bear as Little Bear scampered off through the trees. Little Bear and Mummy Bear played games in the afternoon sun. They tried to catch the seeds that spun in the breeze, and Little Bear kept looking for something prettier than the little blue stone. After a while, they came to Little Bear's special place, and they filled their tummies with juicy purple blackberries. Little Bear was reaching for a berry when she saw something pink hidden in the brambles. It was a beautiful wild rose.
"Mommy,
Shouted Little Bear excitedly.
come and see what I have found!"
She stroked the rose's silky petals and sniffed its sweet smell.
"I've never seen such a pretty flower! Surely this must be the most precious thing!"
"This rose is very pretty, Little Bear,
said Mummy Bear.
and is soft as velvet."
She tickled the rose against Little Bear's nose, making her sneeze.
"But the most precious thing is even softer than this."
Little Bear wondered what on earth could be softer than her beautiful rose. She searched and searched through the dry, crunchy leaves, but she found only spiky horse chestnuts, bristly pine cones, and a rather cross hedgehog. Just then, she caught sight of something fluttering high up in the trees.
"Look up there, Mommy!
She shouted.
That has to be it!"
Mummy Bear lifted Little Bear up into the air. Caught in a spider's web was a tiny fluffy feather. Little Bear reached up high and took the feather very gently in her paw. Little Bear touched the downy feather against her cheek.
"Oh, Mommy!
She whispered hopefully.
Please tell me, is this the most precious thing?"
"It is very soft,
Said Mummy Bear.
but the most precious thing is even better than this. It makes me want to dance for joy."
And Mummy Bear twirled Little Bear around, making her giggle. Little Bear was determined to find the most precious thing. She ran up the grassy hilltop to look out at the woods and fields. Hundreds of dazzling butterflies suddenly filled the air around her. One of the butterflies landed lightly on her paw. Little Bear gazed at it in wonder.
This is it!
She sang out happily.
At last I have found the most precious thing in the whole of the big wide world.
Little Bear and Mummy Bear lay in the long grass as the butterfly fluttered through the golden sunlight.
Oh, yes, that is very special.
Said Mummy Bear softly.
But I can hold the most precious thing safe and tied in my arms.
Oh, please, tell me what this is.
Said Little Bear impatiently.
I have looked absolutely everywhere, and I still haven't found it.
Mummy Bear smiled.
The most precious thing is prettier than any jewel, is softer than a rose or the fluffiest feather, and fills me with more joy than a dancing butterfly. The most precious thing,
She said, hugging Little Bear tightly,
is you. Ah.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.